Hey there, welcome to Crafting Unedited. My name is Sierra and today I'm going to show you how to use Cricut Infusible Markers on a t-shirt or canvas bag. It's the same process for both materials, but I do have both on hand and I'm going to try to use my transfer twice. Don't tell Cricut. So I spent a lot of time recording this portion already once, but I didn't have my microphone on, so here we go again. I have already colored in my image. I wanted to show you what it looked like before you colored it in, but I thought that, my sound was on the first time. So I went ahead and colored it in, but I'll show you. Let me get it. Okay, so this is my image and it was drawn with Infusible Ink Markers. I can grab those, show you those. These guys right here, Infusible Ink Markers. I used both the bold, the 1.0 and the 0.4 millimeters for this. Don't want to lose those. I have toddlers. So basically when you first draw this, and yes, you draw, you don't cut, you go to draw. It's going to have an outline of the letters and the picture you can see here where it was outlined. For the words, if you don't want to have to color in the words, simply type in the fonts, go to writing. Those will not have that outline. Those are meant for like script fonts where it'll just simply, same thing you do for cards or anything else that you use for drawing. If you use a font that is a writing font, you won't have to worry about it. But I did not, hence why I had to color it in. Coloring that in was not that difficult, but all of this was a pain in the butt. But it's gorgeous. You wouldn't be able to get that with vinyl, even if you tried. So, a few things that you're going to need. Obviously, design space to create your image, Inkscape, whatever else you use. You're going to need a mat. This is a strong grip mat, but it has been used probably well over thousands of times, so it's not very sticky anymore. So it's like a light grip mat now. You're going to want to use a light grip mat so that your copy paper, which is what this is, peels off pretty easily. I'm not going to peel it off because it's floating in the air and it'll probably rip and then I'll probably cry. Anyways, so you're going to need these two. You're going to need your blank canvas tote or a polyester shirt. I am using, my first image is going to go on the tote, but this is a Cricut. Oh no, this is a Hanes medium, but it's 100% polyester. And that is what you need for infusible ink, is 100% polyester is what's going to get you the most vibrant transfer possible. That, or go back a few videos and watch my video tutorial on how to use Cricut Infusible Ink Markers on any shirt. Any shirt. Just go back, watch it. You'll be amazed. But you can use that as well if you're using a cotton shirt or any like a blend shirt or whatever. And then the tote that I have, it is from Cricut specifically, and it is for infusible inks. So scored on that one on their big sale. So you're gonna need your blank. You're gonna need some heat resistant tape to tape your decal onto your shirt because it doesn't have that sticky mask like normal vinyl does. And lastly, well, almost lastly, you're going to need some cardstock cardboard, something very thick to put in between your shirt so that your image your ink doesn't transfer onto the backside. And then you're also going to need a press, obviously. I am using the Caesar craft press and I have it set at 385 degrees and the timer is set for 30 seconds. It says that you should only do it for 15 to 20 seconds, but I don't believe them. So I just like to use, be extra, obviously. We're crafters, we like to be extra anyway. So my press is almost preheated. Now, a couple of things. When you are touching this or any other infusible ink product, or any other sublimation ink. Wash your hands. You don't want to do this or do this or do this and then touch it, because it's going to get oils all over that decal or image and ink. And what happens when you get oils in ink? They get all weird and they run and they smear and they ghost is what they call it, or they marble. That's another word. Those are two things that you really want to avoid. Don't touch it with dirty hands and don't get any moisture on it. So, a couple of steps before you get to pressing. You're going to want to take your materials, which I've already done, take a lint roller across them, make sure that there's no lint, no fuzzies, no nothing that should be on there, nothing that shouldn't be on there, and you're going to want to pre-press. The reason for pre-pressing is you're going to get all of the, I know I'm using my hands a lot, you're going to get all of the moisture out of the material so that that ink really gets in there, and it really gets in there good. When you do that, you're going to have a material or a product that's going to last forever. It's basically like sublimation. It is an ink and it is being infused into the material, the fabric, polyester, whatever you want to call it. It's being infused into that, and that's what makes it unlike vinyl, where vinyl you have like a, you can feel the vinyl. I just, thankfully I'm at home and nobody's around me. Except for millions of people at home. Anyways, so unlike vinyl, where the vinyl you can feel it, this is kind of like the shirt is, where you don't feel, this is probably screen print, but you don't feel it on the material at all. It's just there forever unless you bleach it, or if you use fabric softener. Fabric softener on these materials will ruin it. Since most of these sublimation products are white, don't know why, you can bleach spots on the shirt and then put it into the washer. So like spot checking, like if you dribble down your shirt, which I do a lot, you can use a Tide pen or whatever on it so that it doesn't stain the shirt and you can still wear it without having to worry about it, you know, being all gross and stained. More or less, I'm buying myself time. Almost there. So while we wait for this other 80 degrees to heat up, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my shirt or my bag. I think I'll do the bag first. So I'm gonna prep my bag, make sure that there's no fuzzies on it. Gonna get all that moisture out of there, even though it's not preheated all the way, and we'll go from there. First, I'm gonna get this bad boy off of here. I did do a time lapse of me coloring this, and I'm going to insert this into this video somewhere. Haven't decided where yet. Probably right about a couple minutes ago. So you've probably already seen it. So this is the image. It is off of the mat. Obviously you see here that I am not touching the image. I'm touching the sides. So I'm just going to set this over here. I'm going to get my bag. My lint roller. I keep walking away, I'm sorry. I'm not recording where I normally record, so yeah. And I think I grabbed the wrong bag. If I did, for good, I'll just press the shirt. This is like the strongest lint roller known to man. Had a bunch of glitter on there, so didn't want to. I'm not recording where I normally record, so bear with me. If you're not sure of the material of your bag, there should be whatever. There is not. I know that it's from Cricut. And I can't reach it. Well, we'll find out what type of material it is. It feels like canvas, but it also feels like polyester. We'll find out. Whatever. So, when you are putting your image in Design Space, I may have mentioned this already, but I forgot. Mirror your image. mirror it. Don't forget, mirror it. If I caught you too late, I'm sorry. Go back and mirror it. You shouldn't be watching this while you're doing it anyway, especially not for the first time. Canvas bag has been delinted. So what I'm going to do is take this, set it right here, place my decal right there on the bag, wherever I want it. Oh, you're also going to need butcher paper. I always forget to mention that, but you're going to need butcher paper. Getting my image where I want it. Yeah, I should be using a flat surface, but I'm not. It's all good. If you don't know me by now, and the fact that I fly by the seat of my pants 90% of the time, you should really get to know me. I'm a lot of fun. All right. Got my heat transfer tape. Scissors. Scissors. Also, side note, 2 things while I'm doing this. If you have not subscribed to my channel, you should most definitely do that. I'm a very fun, lovable person. I'm going to teach you lots of things on how to use your Cricut and other machines. Oops. And materials. I'm also going to show you what to do and what not to do. Like cutting your finger off. You shouldn't do that. And I'm going to show you how to do everything, every step of the way. The other thing, just a little funny, it is not Sizer Easy Weed or Sizer HTV. It's Caesar, like Caesar salad. Just learned that. I've been saying it wrong the whole last 5 years. All right, so for the tape, you're literally just going to tape the sides enough so that it sticks onto your material, like so. And then once you put this on the press and you press that lever down, don't touch it until it's cool all the way. I'll repeat this in a few minutes. Reason being is if you touch this and that moves while it's still hot, that ink's gonna smear and it's gonna look hideous. Don't ask me how I know. That means I've done it. In case you didn't catch that. All right, so I'm gonna put the first sheet of cardstock in my bag before I put it on my press. Do what I say, not what I do. I did not pre-press, so there's probably still some moisture in my bag. I'm having a day, guys, having a day. Just remember to pre-press. Don't be like me. Get that on there nice and flat. Get it where I need it. Making sure it's flat. I'm gonna go ahead, not use the second piece of cardstock because I didn't grab one. That's all good. It's an 8.5 by 11 and an image that is smaller than that, so we should be good. Anyone else get nervous around their heat press? Like, I've used this thing 100 times. Probably more. Definitely more. And kind of wish I still used my swing away. Just making sure that the cardstock is under anywhere that the ink is going to be. That way it doesn't go into the other side of the bag here. It's hot, but I'm not burning my fingers, guys. Don't worry. That should be good. And then butcher paper to absorb all of the inks and gases that may be released. We are at 385, guys. I am going to press. Now, when you press, you are going to, if you are using an easy press, you are going to press with all of your might without moving it. If you are using a easy press, 2 things. Make sure that your image is not bigger than your press plate. You want to make sure that 2 things are either the same size or smaller than your press plate. And that is ink or decal image, whatever, and that butcher paper. The butcher paper needs to be the same size or bigger, preferably bigger, than your image. With the Easy Press, it's a great product, but you're not getting even heat if the image is bigger than that press. So just be wary that it might come out a little wonky if you're moving it, or even if you shift a little bit, or if you lift a little bit. You got to be firm and you got to hold it for that whole 20 seconds. Doesn't seem like a long time, but it is 30 seconds. The other thing is when you lift it, the butcher paper is going to move. But the reason why you tape down your image is so that your image doesn't move. Lift, walk away, leave it alone, let it completely cool before you touch it at all. Again, 100% cooled before you touch it. Okay? Okay. Ready? And it's going to make a really obnoxious sound because I haven't used it today. And we are pressing for 30 seconds. Again, I have the thing so I don't have to hold it, but if you are holding it, you are holding it with all of your might and your weight and on a flat surface, because if not, it's not going to work as well. So again, do as they say. It'll work really, really well. That's kind of the whole reason why I stopped using the Easy Press, is because you have to keep holding it. And I'd rather be doing other things like talking to you or not having all of my weight pushed onto a product. Okay, lifted. No touchy. No touchy. Not even touching the butcher paper. Gonna let that completely cool. Looks good. We'll see. I was kind of worried because my yellow pen marker, I emailed Cricut about it already because it wasn't showing up. And the orange that I tried to use orange instead of purple. Purple looks really cool though. And the orange didn't work at all, which is really depressing because it was only a pack of 5. So that means 2 out of the 5 pens didn't work. They were broken. So hopefully they'll email me back, which I'm pretty sure that they will. Side note on that same topic, if you ever have an issue with anything Cricut related, anything that has that little C logo or Cricut on it, email them, reach out to them, get a hold of them. They will replace it. They're all about customer service. They got a bit behind because of the pandemic and they released one of their biggest sales, but it's all good. They are solid. Had one of my scrapers break and they replaced it and sent me something extra, which was really cool. Had some infusible ink that was a major bust. It came out of the package kind of faded and really weird. So I took a picture, followed their prompts, did exactly what they told me to do. It did take a couple of weeks, but I got a replacement product. This is probably going to be replaced as well. They have no problem replacing something that is theirs. If you ordered it from their website, they're going to ask you for an order number and all of that. But if you purchased it from a third party like Amazon or Michael's and you don't have the receipt, no big deal. Just send them pictures of the products, and that like what I did was I colored a little piece of paper with that yellow and orange showing that it didn't show up, and I sent that picture with the pens right next to it, and that should be fine. But they're really great. So always buy from them. Buy their stuff, because if you don't, chances are if it's a fake or if it doesn't work, you're screwed. So save yourself a headache and some dollars in the long run. All right, should be totally cool. I have talked your brain off for a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and lift this. And this, my friends, is why that butcher paper should only be used once, not twice. I bombed. I used this, I thought I threw it away, but I didn't. It's a reused piece. But as you can see, this is the butcher paper. This is not the image. But this piece of paper just saved my press plate from getting ink all over it. Yeah, so only once. One and done for these. We're gonna go ahead and throw that away now. But that's a perfect example as to why you should only use the butcher sheet one time. All right, and then this is pretty cool too. So I'm going to pull off this very Turns out the bag was polyester, guys. And oh my gosh, I am in love. It's so pretty. Look at. I was worried that the coloring lines would show through, but they didn't. Look at how gorgeous. I love this. I was really worried because, you know, when you color, you get like the marker lines and like the scribble lines. I was worried that you'd be able to see them. You cannot see them at all. And then, oh my goodness. So I took the pink, the main pink is like a, it's supposed to be cardinal red. Obviously not. Their colors are a little off, guys. So if you're doing like red, white, and blue, I highly recommend you don't do that. But I took the hot pink in between, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but it looks so neat. I'm in love. In love. I really do. And then, as you can see, the cardstock is completely clear. So, that is numero uno. I love this. You can kind of see the coloring marks on the brown, and that's not very brown, by the way, but you can kind of see the marker. But I think it gives it so much character. Obsessed. Oh, obsessed. So we're gonna hang this right here because it's so pretty, and we're gonna go ahead and give that decal a second whirl. Let's see how much I can get out of it. Okay. We're gonna pre-press, don't worry. So, let's get this on here. Get my cardboard in there. I'm gonna flip this around, because it's easier to work with from this side. A little more space. Okay. Pre-press the area that I am going to be working on. Now when I pre-press, I use a Teflon sheet. That way if there's anything on my press plate, it doesn't transfer onto the shirt. I also use those pieces of Teflon sheet for vinyl. What I do is after I've pressed the vinyl, I'll take the mask off and then I will press again for about 10 seconds with a Teflon sheet on top. That way it is in there. It's not going anywhere. All right, so that is done. Now, I dropped my Teflon sheet. Going to check out my placement here. Go ahead, put this. Yes, I am just winging this as far as, is it straight, is it aligned, is it in the middle? Hopefully it is, guys. Hopefully it is, because I don't want to take this out of here again. Thankfully this is a test shirt and it was super duper cheap. Looks about right though. So, fresh butcher sheet. And we're ready to press. La la la. I am so obsessed with this. This is my new favorite thing, guys. It is so pretty. I don't know if you can really see this or not, but you see right here in the pink, the like darker pink is where I use the hot pink over it, and it's just so cool. I'm geeking out now, guys. Sorry, not sorry. No touch. I almost grabbed it like it was vinyl. It's a polyester shirt and it's 100%, and I know that it is, so it's not going to take as long to cool. That's the beauty about polyester shirts and materials, is They are very sweat wicking and very moisture absorbing kind of things, so you don't have to really worry about that. All right, I am impressed. I have pressed 2 things and talked your brains off. And I'm only at 25 minutes. Plus the random quick, I forgot what it was called. Ay, ay, ay. And it did it again. But I'm going to keep this one because that is super cool looking. It looks really cool on this side. I'm going to do something with this. Not sure what yet. But it's really neat. I'm going to set this one over here. Can't reuse that one anyway because it's got ink on it. All right, and this is very promising that I was able to press it again. So like with Infusible ink sheets, they're a one and done. Because all of the ink that is on that is just dropped onto that material. You can't use it again. If so, it's going to be very, very light and very, very faded. So far with this, it doesn't look like that's the case. So, in case you haven't noticed, I like to experiment with you if something's going to work or not. So, shirt is nice and cool. We're going to grab the corner. Lift the, it worked, guys. It worked. And I could probably do it again. Won't be as bright and vibrant, but I could totally do it again. Come on. How's that for placement, huh? I totally winged that, and it is like dead center and pretty straight, if I must say so myself. So this is the second press with the Infusible Ink Markers. So here's press 2. Here's, thankfully that's cool, press 1. Come on. And this is also an off-white bag, so the colors aren't going to be as bright, but 2 presses, almost the same. They're like very, not too shabby. So we have discovered a few things here. You should do what I say, not what I do, for one. Number 2 is that Cricut Infusible Ink Markers can be pressed more than once. You're welcome. And for 3, you love me. All right, so that is really all I have for you. Remember to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, hit the bell so that you know when I'm on, and as always, happy crafting, my crazy crafting peeps. I'll see you later.